Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Now, there's an exciting campaign, Her Money, Her Power, and it focuses on empowering women through financial independence and economic literacy. It aims to close that gender wealth gap and advance the careers of women by giving them the necessary skills to help them manage their money, to thrive, to be successful in their careers, and have their own money. Like we see on the streets, Vex Money is good. Now, to join us in this conversation, we have a lawyer, Boluwatife Ashurono.
Thank you.
Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, Her Money, Her Power, what was the inspiration behind you joining this campaign?
I am someone who firmly believes in women having their economic and financial independence because I feel like that's the key to personal growth and personal freedom. So Her Money, Her Power is a campaign that aligns totally with what I believe in, that women should be in charge of their financial and economic destiny. So I personally believe that having the means, the opportunities, and all of that is something that we women should aspire to have. So it's a campaign that aligns with me, so I'm so glad to be on board with them.
Okay, when it comes to financial literacy, I want you to cast your mind back to primary school, secondary school, university. Do you feel that the education system provided you with the necessary training, skills, education to be financially independent as a woman?
To be honest, half and half. I mean, education is why I'm a lawyer, but life itself has taught me so many things that I wasn't taught in my classroom, like from personal experiences to, being a mom and, all of that real life stuff has, changed everything. So yes, the school, the classroom is one thing and then real life is another thing. When you get to see, how women are treated, when they aren't, financially empowered. So they're just two basically different things entirely, but they aren't far apart from each other.
And why do you think it's important for this campaign to focus on women? Why is it about her money and her power? And when I say women, I'm talking about mothers, I'm talking about widows, I'm talking about single mothers, I'm talking about career women, women in its full ramification.
Yeah. Okay, so personally, I'm somebody who the trajectory of my life has changed so many times. I've had to start all over again so many times, and I realized that the common denominator is me having my money, because me having my money gives me a voice. Me having my money gives me power. So her money, her power, I get to, make decisions by myself. I don't need to rely on anybody. So the truth about it is we talk about empowerment all the time, but we also need to focus on women actually having money, because money is actually what gives us power, and that's it. That's true.
And what challenges do women or girls face, that gender that is unique to them compared to the male gender, to the boys?
Let's be real, there's inequality, and there's never really been that balance. So that's why you get to see every woman who has a little bit of power or voice comes out to, champion and say, oh, there should be, equality between, the gender, because there really isn't so much bargaining power on our side. So if we are given that opportunity to have, more bargaining power, I just feel like there will be more change in our homes, in the society, and even in politics, So I just feel women should also, be given a voice, and we should really, 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 really not be overlooked. So that's just it.
Now, in my introduction, I mentioned Vex Money. Why is it important for women to have their own money that they can vex, whether it's in a relationship or it's in a place where there's power dynamics and some women are having to stay back and take things they shouldn't because they are financially dependent?
Okay, so, the truth about the matter is women have limited access to financial education. Women have limited access to financial resources. So even with cultural norms and all of that. So these things have been, you know, the what would I call it, like the thing that has been putting us down. We don't have access to these things. So men, you know, actually have more credit facilities. You don't get to see a landlord say, oh, because you're a man, you know, you can't rent it because you're single. But we women, we have to come with somebody, you know, to sign even tenancy agreements. We can't, you know, do this. Women are still, you know, they're still skeptical. Can I be in a will? Can I, you know, like especially in the cultural, what's it called, setting now, you know, they don't have, they don't know their rights, that they can actually, you know, own property. So I feel there should be more, what's it called, there should be more focus on us right now, because there's so much imbalance right now. And let's just be honest, the inequality is there, it's glaring, and we really need to bridge that gap. So.
And how is this campaigning bridging that gap? I know they had an event where it was launched. There's a campaign that has gone out, but in the day-to-day, what are the strategies for this campaign to start bridging that wealth gap? So
I don't know if you've seen the ads, beautiful ads. You see that the focus of this campaign is to do away with the outdated, you know, belief that men should only be the ones creating wealth. You know, it's to encourage women that we too can be wealth creators. We can, you know, we can go out there and be somebody. You know, we can start something. A wealthy generation can actually start from us women. So I love the campaign. It's very, you know, it's interesting. I don't know if you've seen them. It's interesting. The focus is amazing, and the feedback has been great. So yes, it's been doing well.
So in your opinion, what do you think the role of economic empowerment is in breaking down a number of these gender inequalities, which you've spoken about? Like you referred to the culture where widows sometimes are not allowed to inherit property if they don't have a son. We've seen some of these cultural gender inequalities. So how does economic empowerment help to break down these barriers?
So if women are given, you know, more if women are given more of this power, I feel like the bargaining power would increase, and it will help the, you know, community. It would help. Okay, so for example, when I don't know if you heard, women once what a man can do, woman can do better. So if women are given a higher bargaining power, you know, we will be able to take care. We'll be able to invest in the communities. We'll be able to invest in societies, and even empowered women can also champion gender equality. So, you know, the more we're given, you know, these seats in higher places, we'll be able to champion and sing and shout that, you know, there should be that equality between men and women.
Now let's get really personal, because we can say all these great things, but when you look at working conditions where women are being sabotaged because of their gender, when we look at relationships where women are having to remain in relationships because of that dependence, like, what are the first steps that woman who is watching the show now is saying, I really wish I could have my Vex money. I really wish I could have my power. I could have my own money. Once I do, I'll be able to make better decisions. What can they do now?
Now, the thing is, they must start now. They could start small, but they must start now. There's no chilling or anything. Start now. It could be small, but be consistent. You know, reach out to people, join communities that, you know, help in navigating these financial systems. There's so many things out there. There's so many groups. There's so many communities you could join. I, for example, I'm a lawyer, but I also do a little bit of real estate. So I am in a community of women into real estate, and I've been there for like 4 to 5 years, and I know how much impact, you know, that has affected me and has done into my life, you know, meeting new clients and all of that. So don't just sit back. Start small, but start now. And be consistent and reach out to people, join communities, and that's it.
Yeah, so that takes me into the conversation on mentorship. It takes me into a conversation looking at the role of role models, of sponsors. How can women help other women? Because we see the guys do it. If you look at politics, you see the godfathers pushing their sons. How can women empower the younger women?
So mentorship is invaluable. It's something that we all need, male or female, but especially we women, falling back and looking up to people who have more experience than us. It would help. It will help us be able to navigate, these financial systems. It will help us be able to have more access to financial resources. It will help us be more financially educated. So having a mentor is good for that, guidance and experience that we don't have and then our mentors have. So it is something I strongly believe in, having that a mentor, networking, and all of that. So it's important.
And to those women or girls that are stuck in those situations like abusive marriages or abusive relationships, and there's just that fear of leaving because of the benefits that they feel they have to receive or their children have to receive, what can they do to break that cycle and to gradually regain their own financial independence? Because we've had women who have stopped their jobs because their husband said, stop your job and stay at home. And they're torn between that responsibility to their family, responsibility to the marriage, but also responsibility to themselves.
I feel like the society also needs to understand that there isn't really much policies in place for we women. So, the more we put these policies in place, the more they know about, law that you have a right to be a beneficiary in a will. You have a right to own property. You have a right to go into, business agreements and, protecting your rights and all of that. When women start getting educated, it all boils down to financial education. Everything we say, once they get to know that you can actually, be these things and own something, and I feel like it will give them, more courage, more confidence. Them not knowing is what is the problem right now. So once you know these things, once you know that, there are actually policies in place, just that they don't know about it. But we need more of those policies. We need more awareness of these policies. So once women know this, that they're meant to be, they have a right actually, to, own property, to be in a will, to, go into agreements, to start businesses. I just feel like it will just change a lot, because if you really check, most women are just they are damping. They don't have that confidence, because they don't know what's going on. But once you know, you can't, if you see an educated woman who knows what she's doing, the difference is actually clear. So it just boils down to financial education and knowing, what rights you have, and that's it.
And finally, I would say a lot of women like to look up to role models, like to look up to people they can aspire to. And a lot of times, some of the role models that are featured prominently in the media are male, whether it's politics, it's business, it's banking. We could go on and on. But who are some of the role models that are out there that are showing us that they have their money, they have their power, they are in control, that some of these women watching can aspire to and learn from their journey?
That's the reason why I love this Her Money, Her Power campaign. You see the different types of women who they've portrayed. You see a widow who's lost her husband. You see an actress who's saying, you can do this, you can do that. Just different women in different organizations, different spheres of life coming out to say, if you have your money, you have your power. So I think this campaign is something that just shows that anybody and everybody can be somebody, and no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. We're all going through the same thing of, the inequality of, being in sectors that are actually really more male-dominated, like tech and all of that. There's so many men in these things. So if we start to, create and, have more initiatives where women know that, you can actually be, involved in this, businesses that are dominated by men, you can actually also do it. So the campaign is one thing that I really love, because it's pushing, that narrative, and is, taking out the outdated belief that only men can be this, only men can be that. We too can be something, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Boluwatife Asherona.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will be going on a quick break here on Rubbin Minds. Don't go anywhere.